Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your Neat Parent host, Zakaria, and I'm here with, could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Surulere Shobayo, or Medium. I've taken a Muslim name as well, Medium.
MashaAllah, mashallah. Could you tell us your Amana count?
Well, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, I have 6 children, 6 wonderful, active, lovely children.
MashaAllah, mashallah. The age range, oldest is how old and the youngest is how old?
From 23 to 10 is the youngest.
MashaAllah, mashallah. And are they the same gender, or do you have a mix of boys and girls?
Yeah, so 2 girls and 4 boys.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Would you say that there's a difference between parenting the girls and the boys?
I personally don't say that. I just think the differences are purely individualistic, meaning just people, they're individuals. I can't say, I know, yes, of course, they're different genders, but, I think they're so unique and you are always learning as you go, so there's some things, of course, that you can keep using or keep, benefiting from prior experience with the other kids. But I find that it's just they're their own people. And so you learn with them as you raise them.
Yeah, totally. I was just asking because when I had my first boy, everyone's just like, oh, the boys are so different and this and this. And I didn't want to feed or believe the stereotype.
Yes.
But I just wanted to know that I wanted the kid or each kid to know that we love them and that you're Muslim and we're going to raise you and you're stuck with us.
Yeah. No, that's the basics. Like, you're Muslim, we are going to raise you as we believe. We are parents, you're given to us as amana, and you're you, and we're going to help you do the best you can be. And that's the same thing. I really was kind of annoyed. I was kind of like you, and when everyone's like, oh, boys, I had the first boy, and then the second boy, oh, boys are just, oh, boy, oh, no, sister, how are you gonna, oh, boys are, and I didn't like to do that, even though I thought, people are older, like other people, they have experience, but I didn't want to play into that. I didn't want to put stereotypes to make them a certain way. So hopefully I did, the right thing. I just let them be how they were. And like some people, the main stereotype, I don't know if you've had this, oh, boys are so active, you're gonna just, boys are just, and like girls aren't active. I had one girl be maybe the stereotypical girl, and I had another girl be, what do you want to say? You should call her a tomboy then,
like exactly.
So, and then I have one my boy, one boy, you can't get him to do nothing for nothing. I mean, he's not gonna, he's not active like that, if you will,
Yeah.
So totally. I don't, let's or not do that. Or they'll
eat you out of a house. People always say that the boys will eat you out of a house. I'm like, actually, I have one girl who's like the biggest carnivore you would ever meet. She's like the biggest meat eater. It's like, subhanallah.
Yeah, subhanallah.
And then the other one is like super girly, and I'm like, yeah, but she'll climb up the tallest tree in a skirt.
Exactly.
It's like, okay.
That's what I'm like, what are these stereotypes? Yeah, so I didn't try to play into that.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think we definitely all learn, like you said, each kid is different, and each kid, we all learn from them, whether it's we only have one or whether we have 10.
Right.
But is there something that you would say that you absolutely learn? I mean, mashallah, you have 6. Mashallah, I'm halal jealous. That is a wonderful number.
You might think I'm crazy. You might think I'm crazy, like many people do, but I wanted more. But alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just like, whatever Allah wants to bless me with. If it's 20, 17, or 2, I would take it, willingly. Yeah. And I feel like there's something we have to pat ourselves on the back about, because, whether it's that first diaper change that you nailed without them peeing on you, or whether it's like helping them solve the algebra problem. But is there something that you yourself, within your family within your kids' amount of your amount account, that you absolutely nailed, or you're just like totally proud on your back? I mean, like patting yourself on the back about, like, wow, I nailed that.
Oh, well, yeah, I never thought of nail things. But when you ask that, I think about, it's not necessarily doing something, maybe like the algae problem or the diapers, even though, like, for me, that was the easiest part, looking back, like diapers, poo, throw up, washing. I'll take that any day. As opposed to the teenager with the issues that you have to deal with, for me personally. And so I would say, inshallah, the fact that inshallah, I think I've given them the, like, never give up ideology. I kind of, I hope that was us, because my father was always very positive and motivating us. We read affirmations daily, positive affirmations, what they call it. He was always like, you know, anything. Like, he's 75 and he's, mashallah, he's in university right now. He wants to get, no, it really is his dream. He wants to get, he's a seasoned businessman who's been very successful in his life, but right now he wants to get a law degree, mashallah. So he's going, so he's given us, mashallah, really, Santa Clara, you know, he's Santa Clara University. So I went there, and my dad's gonna go be a lawyer from there. But anyway, so he has taught us that, and my mother too, never give up, this too shall pass, you know, both of them very, like, teaching us these skills. And so and my husband and I, we've both kind of instilled that, like, in the children. So I see that, like, with things like my son, they do karate. He wanted to be to do the Olympics, and then I had people. So we try to encourage our kids, no matter what. My eldest daughter wanted to be a doctor. Like, oh, okay. We never pressured them or put that idea in her head. She wanted to be an obstetrician. We didn't put that. She just wanted to be that. You know, and it changed over the years, but that's fine. Like, my point is that just we'll support you in khair and goodness, whatever you want to be. So my son, he wanted to do the Olympics. I remember telling people he did I think a GoFundMe or Launch Good to get sponsorship for all the funding needed for the training and all that, because they're brown belts, but they're not black yet. But the point is, and people were like, subhanallah, it's just sad. Are you sure? Is that real? I mean, the Olympics, is he really going to do? Come on. Like,
was it because it was like Saudi Arabia, or because it was, you know, because I feel like you know, if you were in California at the time, you know, it's a different culture out here. West versus like in Saudi.
No, listen to this. No, these were people from from back home, meaning here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I don't know. And not to be, this is my ethnic self thing. I'm like, is that racism? Is it like, why can't he do the Olympics? He's gonna try. I mean, I'm not saying let's just try whatever we want to do. Yeah. Try. And I had, like, are you sure? Well, do you think it's really possible? I don't know. Allahu Alam, but he's trying, you know? And I love that. And he actually did the tryout. So he went with, you know, we just pulled it together with the resources we had, and we supported him. You know, he went to the trials to be on, this is for America now, not for
to represent the American team,
right? To be on
Saudi. Oh, okay.
No, the U.S. national team for karate. You have to do these series of tryouts. He won all of them except for the last one, which was, you know, against the professionals who are already, you know. So yeah, but I like that
seasoned.
I like the fact that he never gave up. He was like, I don't care. I'm going to try. And I see that even with the challenges from the other kids. I think, inshallah, that we've instilled that never give up attitude, even though they're met with challenges in their lives. So inshallah, I hopefully nailed.
Mashallah. Yeah, no, they have to get it from someone, because you guys are their first teachers. So that is amazing, and that's something to be proud of. And then I mean, it kind of rolls into just another aspect of parenting, is that, you know, you will be met with challenges, and there could be challenges that are, you know, kind of predictable. Like, okay, I can tell that this one, you know, eats a lot. So now we have a problem with, like, you know, overeating. Or this one has a problem with, like, you know, they don't know how to read until they're like 10, you know. So what's a problem or a challenge that you met, if you don't mind sharing, that you somehow resolved, and maybe could be a tip for the neat parent community out there, the Muslim parents?
Well, I may not answer your question directly. I think it's still a work in progress. I was going to talk about the challenge of the social media, which is a major challenge for all of us, I think, in this age, and
particularly teenagers.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even becoming younger and younger as the time, you know, the years go on. Challenges, you know, the younger, because I've seen that with my own kids personally. My eldest daughter, I think she was 16. Like, just looking at the different
cell phone.
Well, look at like I remember my mom hated all this stuff. And then later, like she got her a cell phone as a gift. It was cute. It was nice. Right. But then we said no, and we didn't let her have it. The first time she had it, so when she was 18, look at that. And but I'm just saying, like, so we've tried, just because of it's hard, it's addictive, in my personal opinion, and many opinions of psychiatrists and therapists these days. There are clinics that have there's social media addiction now. It's not just me making this up. And it's very difficult for adults even to curb this or to use it in the best way. So, and it can be very detrimental. We've, I say it's a work in process.
Us.
I mean, all of us, our children. It's not, I don't think it's totally resolved, because of course we are still alive and we're dealing with all these challenges, but we've done the best we could by giving them I feel like we've tried our best in giving them activities, giving them things that they're interested in, sparking their interest, it's very difficult, trying to be as proactive as possible, meaning in their lives, in their face, you have to be on it so much, which is hard. The reason why I say that is because I'm sure all of you know, especially with this Zoom thing going on with this corona.
I call it Zoom school. Yeah, exactly.
It's really bad, because whether you've tried to teach them and you don't want, it's hard. You go click, they can say, oh yeah, I'm doing class, and then they're clicking on several tabs. So we've tried to really, it's taxing and exhausting, but really be on top of it. And I see the impact, because I've seen where, with my own kids as well as with others, comparing them to others, that times where maybe we haven't been as on it, that I see the detriment, the impact of that negatively. So
it's like a revolving kind of challenge, or still continuing challenge.
It's still there, but I feel that we kind of have the plan of how to
have a good grip.
Hopefully, inshallah, just that we have a plan of how to take care of it, which is just have open and honest communication constantly, continually, as well as keeping them active and busy in things that they enjoy, and have that ever revolving, so
and with that being said, I don't even know if that's necessarily an Islamic perspective, but that could be one of the things of how we as Muslim parents try to keep an Islamic perspective or an Islamic approach to everything, or at the forefront. But is there something in particular that you would say that, just kind of protecting them, that's something that is definitely, as Muslim parents, that's a very strong important role that we have? But is there anything in particular that you would say you keep at the forefront of your parenting, or you and your husband's style of parenting?
Well, I think one thing that just comes off the top is just intention. We try to just really focus on Allah, having Allah. It might sound, I don't know if that sounds cliche or whatever, but having, I don't care, because we just try to put everything down to Allah, like focus on your intention. Oh, you want that? Oh, you want that iPad? Oh, well, is that because for other people? Like, what's your intention? Why? What's your intention? So I think intention is something we try to focus on. What are you doing that for? Are you doing that? My son's into skateboarding. He's really, I'm scared. But I try to, that's why I try to really let them soar, as Whitney Houston said a long time ago. I mean, that one song, sorry, put that in there. But, let them do things that they enjoy, but watch and protect. But it's scary for me, because he does all these tricks, and he has an Instagram account, and he wants to be pro. He also was they wanted to sponsor him one time, a small
mashallah. This is the karate same karate song, or it's another song?
Yeah, different one. Mashallah. But we didn't go through. So my point is that we try to let that, but then at the same time, what's your intention? Because he was so it's like, there's Instagram, social media involved. Why are you doing this? So try to focus on intention, the niyyah in Arabic. So
totally. No, that's a very great perspective to always keep at the forefront. I think that for many parents, we do. I remember I said that one time in the department store with my daughter. She was like 3 or something, and she did something. I don't remember what she did, but I just said, who does that? Who does that? And this lady was passing by, and she was like, can I steal that from you? Can I borrow that? Because that was my thing, because I really would just recognize that, like, you don't normally do this, so you must have learned it from someone. So who does that? And do you need to do that? Is that something that's gonna, benefit you? And so even at a young age, I would always just say, well, who does that, sweetheart? Habibti, who does that? Who does that? Who have you seen do that? And then it would also put it in perspective for her, and she would say, oh, well, I saw Sasha do it, or I saw Sakina do it. And then I would just say, well, is that your name? I didn't name you Sasha or Sakina.
Yeah.
Even when she was 3, and I would always say that to them. And then I also tell them, which is, I'm pretty sure most other parents do the same as well. But I would also say, even if they did, I would always wrap it up with lakum dinukum waliya din. Like, okay, well, then she needs to continue doing that, and you're gonna stop doing that because you're not her, and you do your own. You practice your religion, she'll practice hers.
Right? Yeah.
So they were saying that before they even knew the whole surah. Mashallah, they were like, lakum dinukum waliya din.
Mashallah. Wow, beautiful.
Oh, mashallah. Yeah, it was just so funny. So I always try to think of it as that too, but more like the awareness. But I like that you focus on the intention, because that is really good too. Because it's like not only who does it, but not the who, but also the why.
Yeah, I like both
so
of
important.
who,
you're right,
mashallah. And why? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never gets old, never gets tired. It never gets tiring.
Islam is
or
not
played out or out of style.
This is not a cool thing. It's not an in thing to be the cool Muslim, or this is not. So.
Yeah, totally. Subhanallah. It is amazing how these kids will put us through
major tests.
These experiences.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that, the beauty of it is that because our ummah is so diverse, mashallah, and that we're all from many parts of the globe, there is that perspective of, culture versus Islam. And I do like to always put Islam first. Obviously, that's we're Muslim, and that's so important. And I mean, my parents come from 2 different countries. Your kids are like me, where they have parents from 2 different, they're multi-ethnic. Mashallah. So I would say that there isn't a perfect way, but at the same time, I feel like that's an additional unique thing for Muslim parents, because we are so diverse. I mean, mashallah, Muslims are every nationality under the under the sun. So I feel like that throws an additional kind of flavor or twist or curveball into the parenting job.
Yeah, definitely.
So I always like to say, like I said, keeping Islam as first and foremost, and then obviously you can't help but to incorporate culture. But is there a way in which you incorporate both of the countries in your parenting, or is it like strictly like non-cultural? Just Islamic?
No, we love cultures and ethnicities and food and we're very we try to take the good of both, and of everything. Actually, my husband, his background ethnically Somali, but his mother was raised in Eritrea and his father was raised in Ethiopia, and from a place called Harar, which is a very beautiful place, a city of rich traditional Islamic culture. And my father's from Nigeria. My mother is African American, with her having some West African. Her grandfather was West African from Guinea. Now, so all of that, we just try to take the khair, the good from all of this. So we leave whatever is kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Whatever is kind of off Islamically, So and anything that is beautiful and we try to we instill that, totally. Embrace it,
Mashallah. I think that's one of the beautiful things of like I said, Muslim population, or just our community, our ummah, as well as now throw in the mix that now we have kids and we're now making this soup even bigger.
Subhanallah. Yes,
subhanallah, it is great. And I know that you have some tips, but if you could pick one that you could share with the neat parent community, there's a plethora of things. There are a plethora of things that I'm sure you could pull from.
Right.
But one tip, whether it's for whatever age range, that you could share with the neat parent Muslim parent community, we would love to hear it.
the one thing that I see very, 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 very critical for all human beings, not just parents, but I think for any age, is having open and honest, evolving communication. Communication is key, in my opinion. When there's communication breakdown, families can break down, and you never know what happened. You never know what happened. You never know what the problem is, and you're just separate. And Shaitan has won by separating families because there was no communication. Even if it's, scary, sad, dark. You think, oh, I can't say this. Oh, I don't want to say this. The fear of not communicating can cause major life-changing damage. So always have that communication open, honest for every age. Every age.
MashaAllah. Yeah, mashallah. I think that's an amazing and important one that we probably tend to forget, especially culturally. Sometimes it might be considered rude to like, ask Baba this or ask Umi this, but it's definitely important for them to know that they can communicate with us, and they should. We're their first teachers, and who else are they going to learn it from?
Exactly.
If you don't ask, you won't know.
Right. Yeah.
Or even if it's not asking, I think the Prophet ﷺ was the first to say that. I don't remember. Don't quote me specifically. I can't quote it specifically, but I do remember that he did say that we should be listeners first, and then also provide solutions.
Yeah.
Be able to provide solutions instead of just like attacking or just first things first is to be really good listeners to someone who's coming to you with something, whether it be your kid or your companion or your spouse or your neighbor. Be a good listener and then provide solutions instead of like criticizing.
Exactly.
So don't quote me, but that was the summary of the hadith the Prophet. So
yeah, beautiful though.
It's great, and you hit the nail on the head. That sounds so like relevant and so important as a Muslim parent.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
Well, I definitely know that your kids are mashallah, you are an amazing mother, and I have understood that you, not only with the 6 kids, multitask with other things, and you're able to share and provide services for others, not only Muslims, but some of your services you are able to have exclusively for Muslims, like Quran. Quran and Tajweed or Quran Arabic?
Yeah, Tajweed and Quranic Arabic. To learn to read the Quran. So with Tajweed, of course, yes.
MashaAllah. And I know that your kids have probably been the first to benefit from that. They know like so much.
Well, I think just from I'm still work in progress with the Quran. I am working on my certification. I'm not done yet, but like for basic beginners, anyone, because there's a hadith that I believe it's hadith, so that you teach it's hadith or Quran, but teach the best of you are those who learn Quran and teach it. Is that
hadith? Yes, that's it. That's definitely I believe that's a hadith. Okay, but I'm not the scholar, but but definitely I've heard that as well. Yeah, mashallah, and I think that your services, people can reach you even if they're not in California.
Yes. Especially these days, I've had a few people who are in other states, just because of this whole, which people have had to rely on the Zoom. So
we've totally called it Zoom school. It's just like a thing now. It's just the new normal.
Subhanallah. Yeah.
Subhanallah. So how can folks reach you? Because it's Quran. How to read Quran, but then also you have some math and English and other subjects as well.
Yes, like I've done tutoring with basic, all this what we do in elementary school, social studies, and basic science, but I can also teach math, and I've done that math and English for like ESL for high school, for all ages.
That's
for math
wonderful.
and English, inshallah. Yeah.
Do folks reach you via email or
yes,
because we'll post that in so that people can reach you.
Yes, and I'll share.
Jazakallah khair for everything. I know that it was just I was just honored to have a piece of your day.
No, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. I know we want to share hopefully that everyone can benefit. We can benefit from each other and continue to help each other, all of us, to be the best we can, and help our children, and to be one ummah.
Allah grant us tawfiq in this parenting journey.
Yeah, I mean,
Ya Rab. And also, may Allah make this always beneficial any way to anyone out there, especially the Muslim parent, the neat parent community, which is for moms and dads, because I know a lot of people think, oh, it's just mom talk, but it's actually not. It's for the moms and the dads. The babas are extremely important as the moms. So,
right.
Jazakallah khair for everything, inshallah. Until the next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.